Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Madam Secretary. Thank you for your service. My research shows that the Department of Education's discretionary budget has quadrupled from fiscal year 1989 to the current fiscal year. It's gone from $17.1 billion to $68.3 billion. Does that sound about right?
That does sound about right, yes.
And I know that part of your job, the biggest part of your job is to advocate for education, but also part of your job is to manage taxpayer money. Is that not the case?
That is correct.
Now, when you were sworn in and got comfortable at your department, you had a chance to go through the $68.3 billion budget, did you find waste?
We are finding waste pretty regularly, and part of the president's admonition to us is to actually do a whole review of the department, and that has been initiated, and I expect in the coming months we're going to have a lot more to say about that.
Do you find it at all strange that in America now we seem to judge success in education by how much money we're spending as opposed to whether our kids are learning?
I do find that strange. And in fact, in the last administration, there was $7 billion invested specifically into schools that were failing or deemed failing to improve them. And there was absolutely zero outcome from that investment. So yes, the notion that spending more money is going to bring about different results, I think is ill-placed and ill-advised.
What do we spend on average throughout America per public school student? I've read $12,000, $13,000.
Yeah, it's between $12,000 and $13,000, I believe.
Yeah, I read once that we spend that Slovakia spends about half the money, but we rank the same. Have you seen that?
I have seen those statistics, yes.
Okay. You're aware, I'm sure, that some people don't like you because you support vouchers and charter schools.
I'm peripherally aware of that, yes.
Okay. So I have this theory about education in America, that our problem is not higher education. We've got the best colleges and universities in the world. We have a problem paying for kids to go there, but people from all over the world want to come here to further their education. Mm-hmm. Our problem is elementary and secondary education. Mm-hmm. And Americans have demonstrated that they can do extraordinary things. We can, I was out at NIH yesterday. We can unravel the human genome. We can take a diseased human heart and replace it with a new one and make that thing beat. We can send somebody to the moon and bring them back. But we can't seem to teach our kids how to read and write and do basic math when we've got 18 years to do it.
Mm-hmm. That's true in all
and I don't understand that. Now, I will support anything, and I suspect you're the same. I don't care what the political cost is. I'm willing to try just about anything to improve public elementary and secondary education, including vouchers, including school choice, including charter schools. Now, I can go down to my overpriced Capitol Hill grocery this afternoon and choose among about 6 different types of mayonnaise. How come I can't do that for my kid in school? I'm almost in my time. What percentage of the elected officials in America that give advice about elementary and secondary public education do you think really know what it's like to be in a classroom?
I think that's a very good question. I don't have the answer to that, but it's a really good question to ponder.
Would you support a bill that said that any elected official, and we may have to narrow it down, that any elected official that makes policy for elementary and secondary education should be required to substitute teach in a public school at least once a year?
That would be an innovative approach for sure.
Now, I want you to understand, I'm not talking about going to a civics class and talking about how a bill becomes a law. I mean a real teacher. You start at 6:45, you go to 2:45, you do lunch duty, you do bus duty, you teach 4 or 5 classes. It's you and the kids.
That would be an interesting exercise for sure.
We'll talk about it. I'm out of time.
Thank you, Senator Kennedy.
Thank you, Senator.